We give a uh, paragraph. Hello. We give a paragraph. Hello.
Hello, yeah, go on.
Yes, sir. So we give a paragraph to the students, and in paragraph we give them chance to select, such as the prepositions, conjunctions are related with the grammatical things, and vocabulary, or maybe we give them the choice of words. So this is how this type of test goes. And the second category is the second in selective type of reading. We are giving a second aspect, that is matching task. At this selective level of reading, the test taker basically asks the test taker's task is to simply to respond correctly. Yes, the test takers tries their level best to give their responses in a correct way. What it actually makes is the matching in appropriate format. We, just as we are giving the on the in the paper, we are giving the 4 or 6, usually the pattern of paper is that we are giving the 4 or 6 options, and one option is right side, and second option in the left side. So in the same way, series wise, we are given the 4 or 5 options, and with this, in the opposite of it, we are also given the other 4 options. So we ask the test takers to select any of the select the I mean matching words from other row. So this is what the test taker matches the types of the words. And the typical formats usually involves vocabulary, matching tasks, and the selective response form and vocabulary. So this is also one of the most important section and a part of the test is in selective reading. It's there are so many advantages of this type of format is there are there. The one of them is offering an alternative to the traditional multiple choice question, or we are given a form of fill in the blanks formats, and are sometimes easier to construct the multiple choice types of items as long as the test designer has chosen the matches carefully. So this is one of the important advantage. And secondly, there are also somehow disadvantages of this type of format. With this framework, they can become more. I mean, the process may involve in the puzzle solving process maybe that genuine test of the comprehension as a test takers can struggle with the search for the match. This is how the test taker goes. And second aspect that comes in the selective reading is the editing tasks. In editing tasks, the editing for the grammatical rhetorical errors is widely used test method for assessing the linguistics competence in reading. So the pattern of this type of test is same as the multiple choice type of questions, but in it, when we give the test takers paper, usually the options are given in front of the test takers. But what he has to do, or she has to select the right answers, or to go for the error detection. I mean, if there is any mistake, he or she will be selecting A or B, and if there is the wrong word, then he or she will be selecting in the terms of vocabulary, not in grammar. So he or she will be selecting the correct words, or where the words are in addition, the test taker will point out those words. So this is the type of editing task. This is also one of the most important patterns of the selective reading. And another type is this one, which comes in the selective reading, which is known as the picture queued tasks. This is what the complex. It is same as the just as MCQs type questions, but the complexity of the language is more varied in this section than the previous sections, as I presented in front of you. Those all sections, there's not any complexity in the language, because in it we are given the pictures or the photographs may be equally well utilized for examining the ability of the test takers. At this selective level, several types of picture queued methods are commonly used, and yeah, commonly used. And in it, we are given. It is just as the you may say non-verbal questions. You might have appeared in one of the tests. There are so many types of the tests, IELTS, GRE, and so on. So in your country, maybe you have appeared in a type of test where you are given the four options, as just as those questions looks like is the non-verbal. There you find just the graphs, or you can find just the type of pictures, where in option 1 you are given the I mean incomplete picture, where in option 2 you are given the bit complete picture, in option 3 you are recommended that you complete that picture. So this is how the pattern of uh, picture queue task type of text is this. And yes, in it, and there is another addition, that we are also given sometimes diagrams, such as if in a paper, for example, or in the for example, the paper is going to be conducted from the IT or information technology side. And so the graph, the test designer may give you a type of graph, just as presented you the parts of CPU in the CPU in the paper, or what you have to do there. You will find the blanks, and the test designer will recommend you to write down the parts of CPU which are compulsory or not. So this is the picture queue task. And another aspect, the section of selective reading, is the gap filling task. And gap filling is simple. You are here recommended. You have the recommendation for filling the gap, and you have to select. Sometimes in this type of test, in this type of pattern, you are given the I mean vocabulary or the words and prepositions in your paper, but sometimes we are not given, because just we are given the blanks. So this is how the test takers as the read the part of sentences and then complete it by writing according to their views. If we are given in the paper options, then they select from the paper that which preposition or which word is or what word is suitable for the sentence. So this is the gap filling task. And yes, there are also disadvantages of gap filling tasks. Some of them are might be the disadvantages vary, but the two are written. One is requiring both reading and writing performance, and second, scoring a variety of the creative response. Yes, and these are the disadvantages. And the second type of reading performance is the interactive reading. and this is also the part of designing the assessment tasks. And at this type of level, the selective tasks have the combination of form focused and the meaning focused object, but it is usually emphasis on the you may say that meaning. Yeah, it along with the form focused and the meaning focused objectives, it is emphasized on the meaning, because in interactive tasks imply little more focus on the top down processing or the bottom up texts. So this is how the paragraph, the other charts and the graphs and the other graphics may be somehow complex in this type of format. And uh, text are from the paragraphs to as much as the one page, and charts, graphs, and other graphs may be complex in that type of format, as I already told you. So in it, we find the type of tasks. Number one is kilos tasks. Tell you the one of the important things that basically the word kilos was coined by the educationalist psychologist, whose purpose was to capture the psychological concept of the kilojoule. And the readers will need to fill in the gaps in an incomplete image and supply the omitted details by using the format schema and the content and the strategic competence. So this in this type of tasks, we also find some of the you can say that patterns. One usually pattern we find the typical and every word is deleted, or you may say the fixed ratio deletion. But many Kelos test designers use a rational deletion procedure according to the grammatical discourse and discourse and function. So this is the one pattern of the Kelos tasks, and second is in it we are involved. We are given the two main approaches in the uh, fixed result in the task kilos tasks. We are given the two main approaches. Number one is the exit word method and the appropriate word scoring. The fixed ratio or deletion is every seventh word, and the recognition that's one's feelings. This is the test in front of you, and this is the pattern. The two approaches of the kilos tests are commonly, these types of tests are commonly approaches are commonly used. The exit basically among the two these approaches, the exit method word approach gives a kind of credit to the test takers only if they insert the exit word that was originally inserted. And the second method, which is known as appropriate method, scoring the credits the test takers for supplying any word that is grammatically correct, or that makes the good sense in the context. So yes, rational delimitations. These are the patterns of the test just given in front of you. Rational delimitations. This process also comes in the closed procedure, and in rational delimitations, just like a paragraph, we are given the blanks to fill, and numbers that which word is suitable or which preposition is suitable for the blanks. And in second version, we are given the comparisons. And this basically allows the test taker to tap in the predictions of the preposition and the conjunctions in particular. As already mentioned, that this type of reading, this type of reading performance always focuses on both. Sometimes it has the specific focus on the grammar and vocabulary. It also is in comparisons. It also provides more flashback as the students focus on targeted grammatical features. And the variations on the standard closing tests are two types. One is C test and the close elite procedure. This is what in C test, to tell you to make the concept clear. Yes, in C test procedure, here you can see that we are given the blanks to fill. We may given the blanks for selecting the appropriate prepositions or maybe the words in C test procedure. Whereas in close elite test procedure, uh, we are not given the options. There you have to insert the words in the text. Even those words don't belong to the text. You can see that here in this C test procedure there are the blanks, whereas in this paragraph this is the paragraph. The recognition that one's now feelings of happiness and unhappiness can coexist. This is the paragraph, and you are not given any of the blanks to fill. Where you will be given the directions to fill out the words, even those words could not belong to the this paragraph. So this type of procedure, in this type of procedure, the text taker's task is to detect and cross out the intrusive words. Yes, and another part of presentation and the chapter was the imperative reading plus comprehension questions. In imperative reading plus question comprehensions includes the typical reading comprehension passages and set of the questions. The question features some of the main idea or the maybe the topic of the topics such as the expression, idioms, or the phrases, or the context inferences, or maybe the grammatical features, detailed supporting ideas, or vocabulary in the context. So these all are the features of questions that are usually represented in a number of comprehension questions. So in short answer, we are in improperty reading comprehension questions. We are given the short answer task. In it, the reading passage is presented and the test taker reads the questions that must be answered in a sentence or two. Uh, in it, the again test taker reads the questions. He or she will just read the questions, and he will find out the answered sentences. Example is in front of you, that in a passage on the future of airline travel. What do you think the main idea of this passage is? And you will be asked the questions about the given statement, that maybe these types of questions lets you or gives you a kind of opportunity to observe in a situation, or puts you in a type of situation where you have to select the appropriate questions answers. So yes, and the short in editing in second section of the reading, we are given the editing. In editing, we are focused on the longer types of texts. Here, the same technique may be applied uh, to the passages as we were applying the technique on the words or the passages or the SS, which are passage. You can say that a technique which we were applying on the passages of 300 to 200 words. But yes, it is uh, uh, some of the most important advantages in it. When we look at the advantages, we are given the authenticity. Yes, authenticity is increased when longer texts are given, and we are focusing on the contextual grammar editing tasks, and we select the options, and as test is in front of you. And additionally, there are also other types of advantages in this type of text. And contextualized grammar, in it we are also given the type of pattern that is known as a contextualized grammar editing task. In
Oh,
contextualized grammar editing task,
saya nanti jam
what
2
what happens
14.
is that we make the kind of categories. The teacher may generate type of computer based test to measure the students performance. All of these tests are focused on the verbal noun classes or adverb classes, and the conditionals or the logical connotations, or adjective classes, or the verb tense, or the sentence structure. And another type of another section of the presentation is scanning. You have been listening about the scanning, but in reading, when we come to the reading comprehension or the reading strategies, we are also given the type of different tasks somehow when the test examines our different type of abilities, whether we have scanned incorrectly or not. So in scanning is simply a strategy used by all e-readers to find the relevant information in the text. Usually, in scanning, we are given the task to find out the dates are the main topics, or maybe the names are the names are the different types of categories in the articles, are the maybe the principal deviance of the chapters, the principal research in the technical reports. So the cost of items is many. So this type of techniques we use, and on the reading text when we scan. So assessment for scanning is carried out by presenting the test takers with the text and requiring the repeat identification of relevant bits of information, such as you will be given the options to find out the dates, names, or the places in the article. So yes, these are the options in front of you. Technical reports, news articles, or the test takers must look at the setting for the story, or the cost of an item, or the menu. He or she or the test taker will be focusing on these all things in the scanning when we are examining the ability, our ability of this thing. Yes, another section is the ordering the task. In ordering the task, this is also one of the most and commonly used patterns everywhere. I think usually in international tests, this pattern is used. This is just like as the MCQs, but we are given the options in order, such as A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and sentences are written. But what we are saying, what the test designer recommend that order that sentence is is I may give I may write down the in option one such as this correct line, or in option two second half of the line. So in this way, test designer test designer would complete the sentence, and you will have to order that sentence. This is called ordering task. And another part is the information transfer, reading charts, maps, graphs, and diagrams. In it, the learner, yes, it is the matter of it that for this section, and it should be, I do also think that it should be the ability of the student and every educated person that he or she should know and recognize the different types of reading charts, or the maps and the graphs and diagrams too. It is not the just related with the mathematics skills, but every learner should know able to recognize all these types of maps, graphs, or diagrams, or reading charts. In it, and the company and specific convention of the various types of graphs are there, and the company labels, headings, numbers, and symbols are used, and the company and the possible relationships among the elements of the graphs are there, and it makes the inferences that are not presented widely. So in information, yes, in information transfer, we are given the task for assessing the interpretation of the graphic information. Yes, we may be given a type of the chart, or maybe graph, or the diagram to we are test designed, and they give us such types of means exam in the shape of charts, graphs, or diagrams. He or she may ask us about different questions, and that where is that post office, or where is that place, or where is that tomb. So these types of questions are usually involved in this type of pattern. Another type of reading is the extensive reading, and as and you all know that this is also the part of assessment task, and the extensive reading by its name indicates that it covers a lot, wide. In extensive reading, we are involved to read journal articles, means large type of texts, technical reports, or the longer essays, or the short stories, usually more than the 5,000 words. Yes, and the books fall into this category. All types of these long texts fall in the extensive types of reading. And for this, we always use different techniques and strategies to cover all those large texts. We use sometimes skimming, and as you all know that skimming is a type of process to repeat coverage of the reading material to determine its gist or the main idea. Number of readers always apply along with the different strategies. When we were to tell you the detailed information, when we were in the undergraduate program in our university, many of the teachers used to give us the task related with the readings, practically SQ3 or SQ4, or they used to measure they used to measure our ability by giving such type of strategies to apply on the reading, and they used to examine give us the different types of papers along with the scanning. So along with the scanning and skimming, and skimming is a commonly used process which is applied, and it is also one of the most important strategies to cover large type of tests. In it, we always ask the different type of questions from ourselves while we read. We skimming in skimming when we apply this type of strategy on the text, we ask the questions that what is the main idea of the text, what is the author's purpose in the writing the text, or what kind of writing in this newspaper article or the manual or the novel is involved, or what do you think you will learn from the text? So how useful will the text be for you? So whether related with the profession, academic needs, or the interest. These types of questions are sequenced in the skimming technique. And another section of presentation is summarizing and responding. For summarizing and responding, this is also paper. This is also a type of test pattern. In summarizing, we are giving the directions sometimes to write a summary of the text, or we are also giving the recommendations that your summary should not should limit the 100 words or 150 words, and should include your understanding of the main idea, supporting idea, the body. So these instructions are given to summarize the paragraph. Yes, we are also sometimes given in this type of pattern the type of Persi writing. In Pakistan, this is very famous. A person who knows about this I do think that is successful, because in a number of tests in Pakistan, always, especially in different types of posters, students are given to summarize different types of paragraphs. So for this, the criteria for assessing a summary is to express the accurate main idea and supporting idea, is logically organized or not. A person who writes or summarizes the text should give the same concept as written, but it should not go or exceed than the limit of the words. Third, is written maybe written in students' own words. Occasionally, vocabulary from the text are available. And fourth is the display facility in the use of the language is clearly express ideas and text. Yes, and in direction in the responding reading, as there was the summarizing and responding, and we learn about the summarizing and now responding. And here in the article is given, and you are given the type of directions to respond about that text. What do you think in your own words, or you may be given the type of directions in this type of pattern that you have to express your ideas, or main idea, what is the ambiguity in the language, or demonstrate the clarity in the language, or what do you think, what is the main idea in the paragraph, or demonstrate the supporting idea. So these types of questions will be asked in this pattern. You will be given the type of directions according to your test. And this is what the understanding of responding. Yes, responding reading. This is the understanding. Yes, what is you can see that main idea, supporting idea are the only partial comprehension, the main supporting idea, the clear ambiguity are. So these types of scoring skills for the answering questions and for answering the questions you will be asked. And lastly, the last part and the last part of the chapter was about the note taking and outlining. You might have been doing in your classes that number of teachers, when we are face to face or in the conferences, use the directs the student to write down the notes or the outlines as the indicators of their presence or the absence of effective reading strategies, and thereby point out the learners in the positive directions. So and many number of teachers apply these these types of strategies. And when we were in the bachelor's degree, teacher in academic reading and writing subject used to give us these types of tasks. We used to yeah, write down or used to say in his own words, and we used to outline those all the topics that he used to taught us. So this is what the note taking and the outlining tasks are. So this was our presentation. Thank you for so much for listening us, and this is the end of the chapter. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you, Coach Adep and Sarvaras for presenting the chapter 8 about assessing reading. Yeah. So reading is one of the first skills. So when we design the language skills assessment, so we have the listening, speaking, reading, writing, and plus grammar. So if you have any experience in what assessing any language skills, so when we let me tell you about what I experienced in designing the test or in assessing the English language skills. So when I teach at outside of the English department, let's say like the faculty of economics or faculty of law or what social science and social and political science. So it is kind of the integrated skill, meaning we not only teach grammar but also the other skills, so including usually minus listening because sometimes it is quite hard to conduct like listening. So before COVID, usually I will play, let's say like the some lectures shown on the YouTube, and then they are supposed to yeah like to make notes or summarize the what the lectures yeah, to test whether the students can comprehend about the lectures or dialogues or like watching film or so when I design for mid test, let's say for the students of economics or faculty of social sciences and politics. So I always start with the reading passage, and it is minus listening because it is quite what complicated to test the listening skill, except if you have the laboratory. Yeah. So it will be nicer if you give listening tests or listening assessment in the laboratory instead in the classroom. Yeah. So you have usually uh, comprehension questions. So you read the text uh, consisting of around to 150 or 300 words, and then you have the vocabulary, or in the reading comprehension you have like the true and false or multiple choice, similar to uh, Brown's books chapter 8 for assessing reading. So including also the grammar, yeah. And sometimes like summary, yeah. Summarizing from the text. So let's say from 5 paragraphs text, and then you are supposed to summarize into 1 paragraph. or sometimes the translation, it belongs to integrated skills. Okay, now we come to the questions and answers, meaning discussion to clarify or to have further comprehension concerning assessing reading. So here we use the word assess. Testing is one of the assessment. So here in Browns, it is in the form of testing, that is the for assessing reading. Also in the language center, we used to have reading books, that is the for, let's say, belongs to the self-directed learning. So during the class break, and then you could go to the self-directed learning, the special room for, so you will see boxes and then label with like using colors, like red, yellow, or green. So red belongs to the advanced level, and then yellow intermediate, and then green is for elementary level. So you can choose according to your level. So it is kind of the what, yeah, belongs to reading books, and then you have to read uh, like kind of fast reading, and then you have to answer the multiple choice questions. And then also you have to time yourself. Let's say you have to complete in half an hour or 10 minutes, and so on, so on. And then you can score yourself using, so from day to day, and then you could see the statistic from your score. Let's say if you have the 6 days or 5 days, and then you could see your progress, because the also it is based on the what, the number of words. Let's say like the 500 words or 150, or and so on and so on. So the longer, the higher the level, and then you will have the longer passages. It's very good to, to train yourself uh, to be what, like the fast reader. So you have the, like in the TOEFL test. So you have to read fast, and then you have to decide fast, and then you go to and fro, because the time is very limited, and the pressure. Okay, please, if you have any questions, or you could write on the meeting chat. So we still have one meeting next week, and then it can be used for evaluation, meaning to, to go through again from chapter 1 up to chapter 4, and also chapter 8. So you're supposed to read again the 4 chapters for your mid-test materials. So it is a kind of theoretical matters. Also, you should read uh, the questions. So after each chapter, it is followed by exercises. Can be group or individual. Let's say like in chapter 1. So you have exercises. individual work, group or pair work, full class discussion, and so you could read again the chapters. Also, you could read the exercises, the questions found in the exercises. Let's say like the restate in your own words the argument between unitary threat proponents and discrete points testing advocates. Why did all the background from the unitary threat hypothesis? So because it is an online course, the test will be, I suppose everyone has done before. Yeah, it is kind of the classroom test. The time is restricted, but also it is what do you call the open book test. Yeah? But the time is restricted, so you should be familiar with the topics, also the pages, and then you can quickly glance at the what pages, yeah? And then you could find quickly upon the topics, and then you can elaborate. It is in the form essay questions, meaning you should elaborate, you should explain. Yeah, let's say for one number, at least you are supposed to write one paragraph, not one or two sentences. Also, you may have like the charts or table, but it is for what for complementary, meaning you still have to elaborate in your own words. So if you have five numbers and then don't miss even one number, yeah. So it will be, yeah, if it is blank, and then you will miss the points. Jadi jangan sampai ada 5 nomor Anda ngerjakan 4 atau 3, ya. Even though they are excellent, you have excellent answers, it is still far from the completion. Let's say one number, what the grade is 20, yeah, 20, on the point is 20. So 20 times 5 meaning 100. Yeah. So if you only do 3 numbers or 4 numbers, so you will get the, let's say if 15 times 4, yeah. So you just get 60 itu ya. Except if each number you get the maximum point, let's say 20, yeah, 20, it will be 80. Okay, any comments, questions? Hello?
Yeah.
Sorry, Sarparas.
answer till now, no question.
Okay, so for next week as the seventh meeting, yeah, the last meeting of the first half, so we can review the materials. So what any terms or any problems you don't understand yet, and then we can discuss together. Like so, starting from chapter one, that is like testing, assessing, and teaching. Yeah, concerning the technical terms. Yeah. Also types of tests, and then principles of language assessment, like let's say validity, reliability, practicality, and so on. And then chapter 3 about designing classroom language tests. So it will be beneficial for you when you design your test uh, for your project, yeah, and the language testing project. So it should be started as early possible because it will take time, yeah, to design the test, also for try out, yeah. And then you can show me on the screen about the, or you can send to WhatsApp group for uh yeah, for your text, for your draft, yeah, the test design. Also the interesting topic about the what chapter 11 ya nih, grading and students evaluation ini ya. Grading and student evaluation, like philosophy of grading, what should grades reflect, institutional expectation and constraints, alternative to letter grading, ya. Also it is yeah, problem for the teachers because if you want to be the ideal teacher, and then it should be, those principles should be met by the teachers. Let's say about the uh, grading system, also giving feedback and so on, yeah. So whatever the students do, and then should be graded, and also the feedback. That is the problem for the teachers, especially when you have what you have large classes, yeah, large classes. So you could imagine if you have 70 students for one class, and then you have to teach more than 3 or 4, yeah. So five classes, and then they are large classes, so will be a problem for giving feedback. Different from teaching the small classes, let's say like your class, so 10 to 20 is still ideal, or 25. But more than 40 is no longer ideal. Okay, if you don't have any comments, questions for the presenters, Sarfaraz and Sadaf, so I think we could stop now. Any comments or questions? Okay, so we could stop now, and thank you for joining the class, and see you next week.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, yeah, welcome.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Okay, you're welcome.